Dear students, welcome to my classroom and also hearty welcome to first class of first chapter in 10th standard. Students, as a 10th class students, all of you know that how the numbers plays a vital role in our human life. A human life is unimaginable without numbers. In previous standards from 6th class to 9th class, we learn the categories of number system, and we know that the natural numbers denoted by n, and the numbers are started from 1 2 3, and there is no end to natural numbers, and the whole numbers denoted by w, and whole numbers are starts from 0, and they are also infinite. Integers denoted by z, and there is no starting number, and also there is no end number for integers. We have positive integers, negative integers, as well as 0 in integers. Next one, rational numbers. Rational numbers denoted by q, and the numbers which can be expressed in the form p by q, that is in fraction form, are called rational numbers. Here q not equal to 0, where p and q are integers. For example, 3 by 2, 0.59, minus 35, 2.34 bar, that is recurring decimals. This type of numbers exists in rational numbers. Okay. And next one is irrational numbers. It is denoted by q dash. All the numbers which cannot be expressed in the form p by q, that is non-rational numbers, are called irrational numbers. For example, root 3, cube root 5, pi, 2.31904798, and which is endless, that is non-recurring and non-terminating decimals. These type of numbers are in irrational numbers. Okay, you learned about all these numbers in previous standards. Now the real numbers is the combination of both rational and irrational numbers. Okay, we have studied up the properties of all these numbers in previous standards, and no need to remind about that in this class. So we have a picture to represent the real numbers. So real numbers consists of both rational numbers and irrational numbers. Rational number contains integers, integers contains whole numbers, whole number contains natural numbers. So, and irrational numbers are exclusive from rational numbers, and the combination of both rational numbers and irrational numbers is called real numbers, and the real numbers is denoted by r. Okay, so we learned all these things in previous standards, and we are starting in the 10th standard with the Euclid Division Lemma. Okay, so Euclid's Division Lemma. So there are three words in this sentence: Euclid's Division Lemma. So I think you know about Euclid, who is the famous ancient Greek mathematician, who is the author of Euclid Invents, compilation of 13 books regarding to mathematics. And our present topic, Euclid Division Lemma, is recorded in 7th book, which is known as Fundamentals of Number Theory. And second thing, division. Second word is division. And you know that division is a basic mathematical operation. So we don't need to discuss about that. And the next one is lemma. So what is lemma? A lemma is a minor result that has been proved to be true using facts that were already known. Okay. So let us know what is Euclid's division lemma. So before uh, learning about Euclid division lemma, we need to remind about division lemma. So let A be equal to 13 and B equal to 3. Now divide this the value of A by B. So I'm taking 13 and I'm dividing 13 by 3. So we have 3 4s are 12 and the remainder is 1. Now this 13 can be expressed as the 3 into 4 plus 1. Okay, 3 4 is 12 plus 1. And similarly, if you take A equal to 34, B equal to 9, and now dividing A by B, that is 34 by 9, 9 3 is 27, and the remainder is 7. So now we can express 34 as 9 into 3 plus 1. Okay, so from these two, we can write that A is equal to BQ plus R, where A is dividend, B is divisor, Q is quotient, and R is remainder. Okay, so this is called division lemma. A is equal to BQ plus R is called division lemma. So, but not Euclid's division lemma, only division lemma. So we know we learn Euclid's division lemma after one example. Take some dividends and divisors. I am denoting dividend by A and divisor by B. So dividends are 8, 9, 10, and up to 19 I have taken. Now divisors. So divisors, I have taken divisors from 2, 3, 4, 5, and up to 7. And in these boxes, I am going to write reminders when dividend is divided by divisor. That is, if 8 is divided by 2, then the remainder is 0, isn't it? 2 into 4 is 8, so the remainder is 0. Now, if 9 is divided by 2, we have 2 into 4 is 8, and 1 will be left, so the remainder is 1. And similarly, if 10 is divided by 2, remainder is 0. 11 is divided by 2, remainder is 1. Similarly, if 12 is divided by 2, remainder 0. 13 divided by 2, remainder 1. 14 divided by 2, remainder 0. In this way, we got remainders as 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1. And if all the values of A divided by 3, then the remainders are, if A divided by 3, 3 to the 6 we have, and the remainder will be 2. And if 9 is divided by 3, 3 into 3 is 9. So 0 will be left, that is remainder is 0. And if 10 is divided by 3, 3 3 is 9, and we left with 1. So the remainder is 1. Similarly, we get the remainders 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, like that. And similarly, if we divide by 4, that is 4 is the divisor, then the remainders are like this: 0, 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2, 3. And 5 is divisor, then the remainders are like this. And 6 is divisor, remainders are like this. There is the remainders are from 0 to 5. And if 7 is divisor, then the remainders are 0 to 6. So now observe this table. If 2 is divisor, then the remainders are from 0 up to 1. If 3 is divisor, then the remainders are from 0 up to 2. And if 4 is divisor, then the remainders are from 0 up to 3. And if 5 is divisor, then the remainders are from 0 to 4. And if 6 is divisor, remainders are from 0 to 5. And if 7 is divisor, then remainders are 0 to 6. Okay. So by observing this table, we can conclude that in each case, we have A and positive integer B, which divides A and leaves remainder R that is smaller than B, isn't it? So in every case, remainder is the values of remainder from 0 and it is less than B, isn't it? That is, if we take 2 as a divisor, then remainders are from 0 and less than 2. And if we take 3 as divisor, remainders are from 0 and less than 3, like that. So this is our Euclid's division lemma. So let's write Euclid's division lemma. Given positive integers a and b, there exists unique pair of integers q and r satisfying a is equal to bq plus r, where 0 less than or equal to r less than b. So in this equation, a is equal to bq plus r, a is dividend, b is divisor, q is quotient, r is remainder, and the values of r are from 0 and less than b, that is less than, smaller than our divisor. Okay, this is called Euclid's division lemma. And we use this Euclid division lemma to calculate the HCF of two given numbers. And I think all of you know what is HCF. HCF means highest common factor. So HCF of two positive integers is the greatest positive number which divides the both numbers. For example, take two numbers 8 and 12. Factors of 8 are 1, 2, 4, and 8. And similarly, factors of 12 are 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12. Let us mark the common factors in both 8 and 12. So 1 is common factor, 2 is also a common factor, 4 is also a common factor. Okay. And what is the highest common factor? 4. Okay. So the highest common factor of 8 and 12 is 4. So the process of finding HCF of two integers using Euclid's division lemma is called Euclid's division algorithm. Now we have find the highest common factor using factors method. This is called factors method. And now we are going to find the HCF of two numbers using Euclid's division algorithm. Okay. So process of finding HCF of two integers using Euclid's division lemma is called Euclid's division algorithm. Okay. So before going to learn about Euclid's division algorithm, let us do an activity which explains us clearly about Euclid's division algorithm. Okay. So take two stripes of 100 units, 100 centimeters and 60 centimeters. Now try to measure this 100 centimeter stripe with the 60 centimeter stripe. So you can measure one time, isn't it? And 40 centimeters will be left. So we can express this as 100 is equal to 60 into 1 plus 40, because 100 is measured by 60 with one time and 40 centimeters is left. Okay. Now again, divide this 60 by remaining 40. So we can measure 60 by 40 with one time and we left with 20. Okay. So now we can write this as 60 is equal to 40 into 1 plus 20. Now again, try to measure this 40 using this 20. So we can measure 2 times exactly. Okay. So that is, we left with 0 now. So that is, we can write 40 is equal 20 into 2 plus 0. Okay. Now this 20 is HCF of 160. Okay. This process is called Euclid's division algorithm. So let us see once again. We have taken 100 centimeter and 60 centimeter, and 160 divides 100 one time, and 40 is remainder. Now take 60 as dividend and 40 as divisor. Now 40 divides 60 one time, and 20 will be remains. That is 60 is equal 40 into 1 plus 20. Now take 40 as dividend and 20 as divisor. And we know that 40 is equal to 20 into 2 plus 0. That is 20 divides 40 two times, and 0 centimeters is left. Okay. So now the remainder has become 0. So we can claim that HCF of 160 is 20. So this process is called Euclid's division algorithm. Okay. So Euclid's division lemma and Euclid's division algorithm are so closely interlinked that people often called farmer as a division algorithm also. That is, Euclid's division lemma often called as Euclid division algorithm. Okay. So now let us do some problems under the title do this. So find the HCF of the following by using Euclid division algorithm. First one is 50 and 70. So you know that here the 70 is the big one and 50 is the small one. So divide 70 by 50, and we get 70 is 50 into 1 plus 20. And again we have to divide 50 by 20. That is 50 is 20 into 2 plus 10. And still the remainder is not 0. So we have to take now 20 as dividend and 10 as divisor. Now 20 is 10 into 2 plus 0. That is, now the remainder becomes 0. So the HCF of 50 and 70 is 10. So before getting remainder as 0, the last dividend is called, the last divisor is called the HCF of 50 and 70. Okay. Now in this case, the HCF of 50 and 70 is 10. Let us see one more example. 96 and 72. So here also 72 divides 96 one time, and 24 remains. That is 72 is equal to 24. Next 72 is equal to 24 into 3 plus 0. That is 24 divides 72 3 times, and 0 will be left. So the HCF of 96 and 72 is 24. Okay. The third one is 300 and 550. So here I am presenting, just to observe the steps. 550 is equal to 300 into 1 plus 250, and 300 is equal to 50 into 1 plus 50. 250 is equal to 50 into 5 plus 0. So as the remainder becomes 0, our HCF of 300 and 250 is 50. Okay. So fourth one, 1860 and 2015. So here also 2015 is equal to 1860 into 1 plus 155, and 1860 is equal to 155 into 12 plus 0. So the HCF of given numbers is 155. Okay. So let us start exercise 1.1. So in this exercise, first problem is use Euclid's algorithm to find the HCF of, first one is 900 and 270. So we know 900 is dividend and 270 is divisor. 270 divides 900 3 times and 90 will be the remainder. Okay, 270 into 3 plus 90. Now again, we have to take 270 as dividend and 90 as divisor. So 270 is equal to 90 into 3 plus 0. So as we have got remainder 0, the HCF of 902 and 270 is 90. Okay, and take one more. 196 and 38,220. So we cannot divide at a time this one. So let's take here. So 38,220 is divided by 196, and we have 196 ones are 196, and we left with 186 and drop down 2. Now 196 sevens are 1764. So by subtracting get 98, again drop down 0. Now 196 5s are 990. So here we can write 38,220 as 196 into 175 plus 0. In very first step, we got the remainder 0. So here the remainder is, here the HCF is 196. So here we can observe that 196 is the factor of 38,220. In such cases, the factor is the highest common factor of given numbers. That is, in this case, 196 is the factor of 38,220. So the HCF of 196 and 38,220 is 196. Okay. So let us see the third question. 1651 and 2032. Okay. So now first divide 2032 by 1651. 1651 ones are 1651 and remainder is 381. So now we can write 2032 is equal to 1651 into 1 plus 381. Okay. By this division, we can write 2032 is equal to 1651 into 1 plus 381. Now again, take 1651 as dividend and 381 as divisor. So divide 1651 by 381, and we have 381 4s are 1524, and the remainder is 127. So 1651 can be written as 381 into 4 plus 127. Now again, take 381 as dividend and 127 as divisor. So 381 is dividend and 127 is divisor. 127 3 is a 381. So now the remainder is 0. So we can write 381 is equal to 127 into 3 plus 0. Therefore, the HCF of 1651 and 2032 is 127. Okay, students. This is the process of finding the HCF of two given numbers using Euclid Division Lemma, which is known as Euclid Division Algorithm. Okay, students, that's all for today, and we shall meet in next class. Until then, see you. Bye.